Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The world is utterly shocked. The real forces of evil are at work again. Alas, the so-called civilized world has become a tool in the hands of those who are conspiring against the greatest personality the human community has ever known. The reprinting of the blasphemous caricatures has caused much pain and grief in the civilized world, and a great deal of resentment and anger in the Muslim world. These caricatures have been sketched to mock such a noble and sublime personality whose sanctity and greatness has been universally acclaimed, and whose love for human dignity has been acknowledged by all unbiased and just followers of the world's living faiths. The hands behind these cartoons aim not only at defaming that noble human being who had been sent to teach the humanity the lessons of love and affection, peace and tolerance, but at disrupting peace and creating chaos in the world. Is it not a shame to offend, in the name of freedom, a personality who has been a mercy to the entire universe, and who imparted throughout his life lessons of benevolence, love and tolerance? By insulting the last member of the sacred chain of prophets sent by Almighty Allah for guidance of humanity, the conspirators have indeed insulted all the prophets, including Jesus ﷺ and Moses ﷺ, who gave in their scriptures the glad tidings of his blessed arrival. Allah Almighty took a pledge from Jesus ﷺ and Moses ﷺ and their followers to support Hazrat Muhammad's prophethood wherever he is sent and to obey his teachings. But alas, today the so-called followers of these two holy prophets leave no stone unturned in defaming the most sacred personality of the holy chain of prophethood. Have these shameless, abject and ill-minded cartoonists thought for a single moment what they have given to this world? Hasn't this dirty act of theirs destabilized peace in the world? How much has this immoral act served the humanity? How much has this shameless act distressed the hearts of millions of people? Don't they know the extent of love of the Muslims for their prophet? Don't they know that they have rekindled this love even in the hearts of the weakest Muslims? It so happens that sometimes a man commits such a blunder that it degrades him in his own eyes. Praise be to the last Prophet ﷺ for his sublime divine teachings, who forbade to malign even false gods of non-believers, and who declared a Muslim speaking a single word showing even a petty sign of dishonor to any of his prophet brethren to be a disbeliever. Today, if a so-called Muslim utters any blasphemous words against Jesus or Moses, all the Muslims would snap their ties with him forever. Would the Jewish and the Christian communities display impartiality, truth, and a realistic attitude by condemning the heinous crime of these detestable, mean, and contemptible cartoonists? Can't they ensure that such incidents should not reappear by cutting off their terms with these enemies of peace and humanity? Is it not the duty of the International Court of Justice to take a notice of this brazen violation of the human rights? Is it not high time that the religious leaders of the Jews and the Christians raise their voice against these ill-doers who have distorted the teachings of the Torah and the Gospel? Will they allow anyone to depict Jesus or Moses in this way? Shouldn't the UN intervene and stop these savage acts against basic human rights? To the Muslim brethren, we say that it's a time in which you need to prove by your acts and deeds, and by coming closer and closer to the message and ideals of your great Prophet ﷺ, and by boycotting the forces of evil, that you are the true followers of Muhammad ﷺ. Our souls cry, our hearts bleed, and our eyes are filled with tears of grief and anger. And Allah willing, our reply will be befitting of our character and pleasing to Allah and His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.